Hi everyone, I'm Professor Tech, and this week we are covering what I think is one of the weirdest and most niche accessories I've used to date. These are the Viture AR glasses that claim to support 60Hz refresh rate, a virtual 120-inch screen beamed right into your face, as well as a host of other features. As with most things, there's more to them than meets the eye, so let's stand up for once, check Viture's claims, and let's jump right into it. So I won't lie, up until Viture reached out to me about sending me this product, I had never really considered something like it. And full disclosure, they did not give me any hard rules or regulations on what I can and can't say in this review. I just want to disclose that I did not in fact pay for these. I also wasn't quite expecting the package that they sent me. I was expecting just a set of glasses, maybe a glass shade, they asked me to choose that, and maybe the attachment cable, and maybe in case they came in. Instead, I got that plus a few little gift items like stickers, pins, a small carrying case, 2 different mounts for an accessory battery that acts like a power bank, and as a dock for the Nintendo Switch, more on that in a bit, as I have quite a few thoughts there as well. And in full disclosure, I was kind of feeling myself a little bit like maybe I'm becoming a real content creator or something. But I want to make it clear that it's not going to be all roses and chocolate. I do have a lot of critiques for this product. However, I also have a lot of praise for it, and the direction I think products like this could go to become more massively adopted and even normalized. So, in an effort to make this video consumable and not just turn it into a ramble of thoughts and opinions, I'm going to break it down into 5 distinct categories. And remember to get subscribed if you'd like to see more accessories for the Steam Deck, the Asus ROG Ally, and even devices like the Lenovo Legion GO, AYN Odin, and devices from companies like GPD. This year, I'm really hoping to branch out my content, and I would love to have you all there to pad my ego and absolutely ruin my self-esteem, whichever one fits your boat. And so, our categories are, number 1, the comfort. How do they fit on my face? On a friend's face? With the different nose grips? What are some of the issues? Number 2, the ease of use. How easy are they to use? What are the user interface issues that I ran into? How could it be improved? And what should stay? Number 3, the compatibility. Does this work with every device? What are some devices that might not work? What are some weird workarounds you might have to deal with, such as with the Nintendo Switch? Number 4, the screens. How good are they? How color accurate are they? Does the glass shield make a difference? And what could be better? And number 5, the price. How much are they? And do I think that they're worth the cost of admission? Hi everyone, I actually received this a little bit late after I recorded the video, but if you use code viture.com/professortech as a part of checkout, the link is down in the description below, you can actually save 10% off of your order. Viture's not paying me anything to provide this code, they just wanted to offer it to anybody that watches my video and determines that, hey, maybe they think it's a product they're interested in. So if you get to the end of the video, you think this is a really cool product, make sure to use that link down below. I'd super appreciate it. Back to the video. And so with that said, here's something that I absolutely need in products as a very sensitive man. Comfort. So yes, with any new wearable piece of technology, one of the first questions that should come to mind is whether or not it even feels comfortable to wear. Some devices, like the Oculus Quest 2 and 3, are comfortable to wear for a short 1 to 2 hour burst, but start to wear on a user's face either from being too tight or too loose during their play session. So for a device like the Viture AR glasses, which are meant to accompany devices like the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck or even the Nintendo Switch, being comfortable enough to wear for long play sessions of 2 to 4 hours seems like a fair threshold. And for the most part, they accomplish this. The glasses are overall very light for what they are, and come with a bit of an obvious weight to the front in order to hold all of the tech inside of these glasses. Not to worry, as the accompanying earpieces even out the weight, and with the magnetic power connecting cable, it evens things out to feel mostly comfortable. It would have been nice to see options for frames that differently distributed the weight, but for a mass production product, they're a pretty good first run. However, one notable aspect that both myself and other daily glasses carriers notice is that these glasses do not work very well with prescription lenses and don't have any standard accompanying accessory to mitigate this. They do have a product listing for a prescription lens frame on their site for $19 at the time of writing. However, it wasn't sent over, so I can't really knock too many points since I wasn't able to properly review that. But I can say that I think it's something that should come standard in every package whenever you're a part of the checkout process. Another critique is the magnetic clip interface. I didn't have an immediate solution for this problem, as it will generally only affect individuals whose hair is long enough to go over the magnetic strip, but I found that anytime I put the glasses on and then attached the magnetic core, that my hair was always getting caught back when it was longer, and it really wasn't that comfy. It was easy enough to adjust, but it would have been nice for anyone with long enough hair to not even have to worry about it. Maybe it's something as simple as changing the location location of the charging connector. On a positive note, I would say that the glasses are fairly comfortable to wear for a longer period from a physics standpoint, and the included bridge mounts for different nose sizes and shapes are really welcome and necessary for most people. However, the screen experience for that long of a time has some issues and can be difficult, which I'll get into here in just a bit. But a topic that by definition shouldn't be difficult is, of course, the ease of use. Put quite simply, how easy are the Viture XR glasses to use? I'm happy to report that they're mostly really easy to use. Generally speaking, of course. For the most part, if your device supports an external display and has USB-C output for the display, these XR glasses will work. I tested them with several different devices, including of course the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, as well as 2 different laptops and my desktop PC. And for every one, after a brief pause as a specific system recognized the glasses as a display, they each worked. Of course, depending on your settings in a given device, you might have to adjust the settings to mirror the original screen, or if you're feeling gutsy, extend the screen while not using the lens shade. But overall, they work just fine. Some of my friends that tested these noticed that if you bump the buttons that generally control the brightness settings of the displays, you may accidentally switch the display mode of the glasses into 3D mode. Thankfully, it's as simple as cycling through the options by pressing the button several times. Ultimately, you'll return to the correct setting. And speaking of my friends, if you'd like to see more of them in the future, make sure to like the video down below to validate both mine and their emotions. We can't live without the acceptance of random people on the internet. However, it's not all bells and whistles for these glasses. One point worth noting is that if you are someone who uses reading or prescription lenses, you will need to order that additional prescription lens attachment that I mentioned before. I have an astigmatism, and while that's not super severe, I did notice that my eyes became very fatigued due to the direct light being shown into my eyes from the screen. With some lens corrections, I'm sure I would have been able to enjoy them nominally more and for that extended period of time. And while the button interface is simple, the buttons can perform odd functions at different times, which takes a little bit of getting used to, but after a while I was able to learn what they did depending on what state the glasses were in. For example, plugged in, or in 3D mode, or in traditional 2D, but it did take a minute. Yes, Viture provided loads of documentation on their accessories that they sent me, as well as manuals, but when you open a kit box and find all of this, as a consumer, your immediate thought is either A, I'll figure this out on my own, or B, I'd just rather not. So overall, the glasses are easy to use, but not the simplest to understand without a small amount of patience. They're an overall 7 out of 10 for the ease of use experience. But something that performed better than was expected: the compatibility. As I briefly mentioned in my previous point, these XR glasses from Viture worked with virtually any device that supported display out via USB-C. My phone, my Steam Deck, my Ally, my desktop, and several different laptops all worked with them. I honestly wish I had more topics to talk about in this section and in this respect, but if your main goal is to have a way to have a display extension or a replacement in your eye holes, then this works great. But something that I mentioned a bit earlier in the video is the compatibility with the end user. Again, if you need glasses or you're someone who gets major headaches from having heavier glasses sit on your face, these may not be the glasses for you. They're not heavy, but they do have a little bit of weight. They are in no way heavy in the same way that a full-blown VR headset like the Oculus Quest might be, but they do have a little bit of heft to them. One other aspect that many may think of is the built-in 3D support. Now, this is something that I had a bit of trouble finding on their website, but it clearly says in the instruction manual that the glasses support a 3D view mode that allows you to, quote, enjoy your favorite blockbusters the way they were intended to be seen. Unfortunately, I am one of the people that suffers intensely from 3D nausea, and I can't use 3D glasses for more than about 5 minutes before vomiting. Not feeling like vomiting, but I actually lose my lunch about 5 minutes in. So for that reason, I can say that most of the content I tried to use with these glasses worked with a 3D effect, but I can't recommend for or against buying these glasses for that reason, since I didn't really get to properly use that in that respect. However, given the nature of it being more of an add-on feature to the glasses, I wouldn't say it's something that you should consider as a must-have for viewing your content when considering purchasing these, so your mileage may vary. However, something that was incredibly stable and didn't have varying mileage was the screen. Yes, the main feature of the whole headset. According to both the included literature and the information included on Viture's website, the screen runs at 60 Hz and emulates a 120-inch large screen in front of your very eyes, and when at a PPD, or pixel per degree measurement, it's around 55 ppd. It's important to note that pixels per degree, ppd, is not the same as pixels per inch, which is something that you might see on things more often like computer monitors or smartphone screens and other high pixel density devices. I'll have more on that in a little bit though. Let's start with the pros. The screen color is really fantastic and honestly hard to show in this video because of the way that the projected lensing works in the glasses. While I wouldn't say it's on the same level of something like an OLED screen or even higher end mini LED displays, I would say anecdotally that the screen feels like a screen that fills 100% of the sRGB spectrum, but not that of the Adobe RGB spectrum. So great for viewing content and consumption, but not for professional creative work per se. Another is the reported refresh rate. At no point did I personally have any issues with drop frames that weren't caused by either device actually pushing the content to the glasses or the imaging. The glasses performed very stably and I have no major notes to report there. I mostly played Doom 2016 with little to no issues on the part of the glasses and had a fairly great time playing using the glasses during a plane ride to New York City. Another positive note is the inclusion of a transparent and opaque mode for when the glasses are not being used with a lens shield. While the lens shield definitely provides the best picture quality as it completely blocks out any background elements, the included opaque mode that darkens the background of the lenses works fairly well. And when switching to the transparent mode, it feels functional and responsive. But that's where the core positives for me end in terms of the screen, and an area of mixed response starts to creep up. Let's go back to that pixel per degree measurement I mentioned earlier. 55 ppd is the reported amount by Viture, and from all accounts on my anecdotal part, this seems accurate, but it should be noted that at 55 pixels per degree, meaning that as a viewer you're experiencing 55 pixels per degree horizontally in your line of sight, it only results in the screen taking up just shy of about 35 degrees of your field of view. Anybody wondering how I measure this, simply take 1920, or the horizontal pixel length of a standard 1080p screen, and divide by 55 to find the total degrees used, which in this case is just shy of 35 degrees. Now I should note that the inside included brochure of the device does indicate on the page about 3D functionality that the glasses do support native 3D video at 3840 by 1080 pixels or UHD, and while I think that means it supports content at that resolution, I think that the still included screen is actually standard 1920 by 1080, which conforms to a UHD space in 3D mode. And what does all that mean? It means that the total field of view, measured in degrees, for the viewer is on the low end around 35 degrees, or with the grace that I might be calculating it wrong and it actually is 3840, it could be up to 70 degrees of view. So somewhere between 35 and 70 degrees. Again, what does this all mean if you're an average viewer who hasn't really dove into the science too much? Well, let's put it into some comparable terms. According to Samsung, one of the designers of mini screens a lot of us use every day, from monitors to phones and especially TVs, the optimal field of view for a standard 16:9 television display is about 40 degrees. Generally, in order to achieve this field of view, a rough calculation can be done by multiplying the inch count of your display by 1.2. It's not exact math, but it's relatively close. So let's say for a 70-inch display, you'd want to sit about 90 inches away, per the example used on Samsung's site, which is cited and linked down below. So Professor Tech, you said that you were going to explain, and then simply you threw more numbers at me, and what does all this have to do with Viture's XR glasses? Totally fair. Basically, for any display that you have, optimally, you want to be about 1.2 times the distance away from the screen as the screen is large, and the total field of view you want is to achieve about 40 degrees. So let's bring that back to the Viture. Based on our earlier calculations, we found that the degree of view is around 35 degrees or so, or about 88% of the optimal field of view according to Samsung. Unless I'm wrong and the actual pixel length is closer to 70 degrees, in which case these glasses are positively crushing that metric, there are some core takeaways. 1. The screen color and refresh rate are really great and an overall fun experience. 2. The various viewing modes when including a glasses shield makes for a multiple purpose and functional device. 3. The perceived screen size may or may not feel a little small to those of us that are avid screen and tech aficionados, but should still perform quite well for most people in terms of the perceived size, and mathematically, its claims are mostly accurate when taking into account how they achieve that perceived screen size in terms of measurements for their marketing purposes. And one last area that isn't quite as convoluted as the screen is the price. Let's talk how much, the question that anybody still viewing this video may have on their mind, these cost. The glasses here, with the included wire, no size adapters, glass case, and the anti-clip hair cover, comes in at around $549, but these glasses have been consistently on sale since I received them for around $439. Now, whether that sale will end anytime soon is yet to be seen, but thus far it has held steady, so your mileage may vary. Of course, as you saw during the B-roll playing throughout the video, I received more of a special package that included a charging adapter, 2 docking mounts for both the Valve Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch, portable battery pack that doubles as a Switch dock since the Switch requires a special dock to output video from its USB-C port, and a glass shield to block out external light, as well as a host of other small swag, including some pins and some stickers. Collectively, based on sales pricing of current listings for each of those items, the total package seen in my B-roll footage comes in at around $692 based on some rough napkin math. So based on the comfort, the ease of use, the compatibility, the screen, and the price, do I recommend this product? It's complicated. If you're someone who loves to be on the cutting edge, trying out new technology as it arrives and as it continues to be developed, then yes, absolutely. I think the base glasses package is worth it. Maybe a dock or two if that's something that you see yourself using it for as well. Putting it on the back of my Steam Deck is something that I foresee myself actually using these with. I think if you're someone who likes playing things like violent video games like Doom or Grand Theft Auto or other titles that while you're on an airplane or a train that a seat neighbor like a parent or child might be a little perturbed by, then yeah, these may be good for you so that you can enjoy absolutely dominating demons and racking up headshots without necessarily worrying and upsetting someone nearby. But for an average person who doesn't travel all that often, I would recommend this to somebody who plays video games late at night to avoid disturbing a partner in bed with the annoying screen light and noise that generally comes from a TV. And all of that said, with the caveat that these are expensive glasses that I think will come down in price as more items like it are introduced to the market in order to accelerate competition and competitive pricing. Whether it's the right device for you really depends on the type of user that you are. It should also be noted that there is a light version of this product that has been put out by Viture. These are not those, but it may be something worth considering. And so, with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video and this new format. We're trying some things out. If you did or you didn't, leave me a comment down below so that you can either validate my existence or completely dismantle my very fragile male ego. I'm Professor Tech, I love you all, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week. Bye, my friends. You should hit this one so that you can check out another video that we've got coming soon, and you should